Back again, Ghetto Brother Minister anyway, at the Ghetto Prepper here, brand new channel. I have other YouTube channels, millions of views, but this is separate and apart from those. So, but what I want to talk about now is something many of you may not have thought about with respect to black people. And this channel is to get black people ready. And the reason why I'm doing that is because white preppers, God bless them, they've been teaching some great things, but what they're not teaching, they can't because they don't know. There's problems that are peculiar to us, black people, with prepping, and you need to watch earlier videos about that, about getting out. I'm not going to rehash that. Where are we going to go? Where are we going to go that will be safe? We're not even safe in our own neighborhoods with black people. White people are killing us right now, cops and white folks. We saw what happened in Katrina when those black folks try to get out of the flood. White folks put shotguns in their face and turned them back. So we're not safe anywhere. And this channel is dedicated, brand new channel, to you black folks, getting you safe. So something else that's peculiar to us that I need to address is our medication needs. We talked about food stores, and we're going to keep building this channel over the next 4 or 5 years. So this is an extensive conversation. We're just laying the groundwork now. So another thing that is peculiar to us is the medication that we take. We know that we are more likely to have high blood pressure. I have high blood pressure. We're more likely to have diabetes. I have type 2 diabetes. We are just thyroidism, just other things that are peculiar to us as black folks. So I got COVID. Me and my wife got COVID in, I think it was December. Yeah, it was December 2020. So, and during that week, I was diagnosed with high blood pressure. Diabetes, sugar diabetes and hypothyroidism. And I already had high blood pressure, but those two things. Now, honestly, I think I was a pre-diabetic already, so that kind of pushed me over. But the hypothyroidism, there was never any hint that is like an issue even in my family. But again, COVID is a gain-of-function virus created in a lab, and we all know that. But it dials things up. So the hypothyroidism I have requires medication. So I've said that to point that out. You need to make a medication plan, black folks, that are particular to us. And I have some hard truth for you. And that hard truth is, when this society shuts down, when the electric grid shuts down, these white folks are going crazy. They're talking about nuking each other. Joe Biden keeps sending more and more money to Ukraine, $100 billion so far. Nobody knows why or where the money is going. It's like he's trying to antagonize Russia into nuking us, or an electric grid attack or something. So these white folks have gone crazy. They don't care about you. Democrats don't care about you. Republicans, they don't care about you. I'm one of your pastors, one of your preachers, and I'm going to give it to you right down the middle, right? I ain't one of these ignorant Negro preachers that tell you to run out and vote for these Democrats who put policies in place that kill us, just like what's going on now. This inflationary economy is a result of a Democrat president, period, end of discussion. Yes, Trump was a bigot. Sure he was. But Trump wasn't hitting nobody's pocketbook. So I don't want to get off into that, but I'm right down the middle of the road. So when the grid goes down, the reality is those are type 1 diabetics that require insulin to survive. You can't get that insulin, or your parents or you can't get that insulin, you're going to die. It's that simple. I'm going to give it to you right down the middle of the road. God can intervene and there could be a miracle, sure. But short of that, with type 1 diabetes, and there's a lot of my mother, both of them, with type 1 diabetes. I mean, I had a birth mother. She's a white woman. And then my mother who raised me, both of them type 1 diabetics on insulin. So again, you're going to die. That's the reality. So I say that to point this out, is that food stores also must contain any medication that you're able to put away to last as long as you can. So when those people out there bum rushing the store, we talked in other videos, you're putting a can or 2 or 3 of stuff away. You're getting black women things for your kids put up that they're going to need. You're getting water, you're getting feminine products. Brothers, you're getting what you need. I would forego the shaving products. I wouldn't even worry about that because that is just, when we talk about prepping, that's a waste of money. You don't need that. Don't forget about shaving razors. Forget about all that mess. Let your stuff grow out and spend that money more wisely, getting more food. So I said that to point out that when those lemmings are bum rushing to Walmart and all the shelves are empty, like this shot I'm running before you, you need to think about how you're going to get medication. Are you going to bum rush pharmacies to get medication? What are you going to do to get medication? Now, I'm going to tell you, I can't tell you what my medication plan is, but with my high blood pressure, diabetes, and hypothyroidism, I'm a type 2 diabetic. I don't necessarily need metformin necessarily to survive. Now, I'm not, in that situation, food is going to be so scarce anyway. I'm not going to be eating not a junk food. I'm going to be working hard as I can. So I can control that with exercise and diet. I'm not worried necessarily about diabetes, and the high blood pressure I can control through, again, exercising. So I'm not worried about that. The medication I'm worried about is the thyroid medication, and I have a medication plan for that. And unfortunately, I've not been able to find any natural substitute for that. There's some things you can do, but they're not hormone. And that's what us with hypo or hyperthyroid is. We got hormones, right? We have to take it. So I pushed on, and I'm going somewhere with this. I got off of it to see how long I could last before I crashed. And that turned out to be almost 3 months without a dose and I'm taking a very small dose of the medicine as well, the levothyroxine or whatever that is. I can last 3 months, and then I just crashed. And I saw what I would be or post-apocalypse without medication. And essentially, I won't be any good if I don't have it. So I have a medication plan. And I'm not going to tell you what that is, but I have a medication plan where I'm going to, Lord willing anyway, I'm going to be able to go on for a year with just that medication, because truthfully, that's really the only one I need. Everything else I take, whether it's the zinc or vitamin C, that stuff is vanity. I'm not worried about any of that. It's just that. So I told you that to ask you this question. What medicine, Black folks, what medicine with respect to your health do you take that you are not going to survive without, or your survival will be diminished and you get to a place of being a useless eater, or somebody had to take care of you? What is that medication, and what is your plan? Cancer patients, unless the Lord intervenes, you're dead. Type 1 diabetics with insulin, you're dead. And again, me too, without that thyroid medicine, I'm going to be pretty much a vegetable, because that's what I was when I crashed. But what is your medication plan to last as long as you can, hopefully and prayerfully, that you can get back to being medication? Because remember, in a grid down, no electricity, no water, hospitals are not going to be functional. Shipping of medicine, which most of it comes from China, that's going to be cut off. China controls your medication. So if they're the one that's nuking us, you think they're still going to send us medication? So I'm saying, Black folks, please understand, along with food and water, you also need a medication plan to extend your medication out as long as you can. Work with your doctor, talk to your doctor. Don't take any medical advice from any clown like me. I have my own medication plan. That's my plan, and that's what I'm going to do. But your medication plan is something that you are going to really have to consider in order to survive in this wasteland for as long as you can. See you in the next video.